Man was taught during the time of that cycle of Zarathustra that these spiritual concepts were actual entities. And so you had angels gods and goddesses who represented each of these different entities that the gods wanted man to learn of. These spiritual realities is what they are. Hope is a spiritual reality. But man needed something concrete to look at, and so he had a personification of hope. Hope is an entity, a personification of that hope. That's how man started out. Later false gods said, oh, well, hey, I'm that person. I'm the Ahura. I'm the Ahura. I'm the happiness. Hura is happiness. I'm the manifestation of happiness, said the false god. Ahura. Satusk was his name, and he became known as Ahura. And he set himself up as a false god and all that. Well, that was his test. He was bound on that wheel pretty deeply. Anyway, this hope is a reality, a spiritual reality. And that's hope is an aspect of what 13 is. So even though we have test and we get bound, we still can have hope. At the very least, I mean, yes, we can have other things beyond that. We can develop beyond that. We can have believe that, yes, I'm going to be released any moment, or trust that you're going to be released, or even faith that I'm going to be released, or even knowing, absolute knowing that you're going to be released. So we can have all those things, but at the foundation is the hope. Because if all else fails, you still have hope. Hope is still there. A light can come to you in the form of hope. You can see immediately that that's the way. Yes, I know there is hope. As soon as you see it, you just know it. 13, one of the higher aspects of 13, Uga, the test, is hope. But it's also much more, as we mentioned, it's the labor that man, the arena that man chooses to labor in. And what is that arena? And if it's in tune with what Jehovah wants, you see, and his kingdom, then it flows out in beauty and glory. It all ends in glory. If we fall away from that, or if we're not, if we're distant from Jehovah, then it's less so and less so, and we have, lesser lights and lower lights, and finally hardly any light at all, and then in the darkness. So there's this range, this continuum, where we could be going forth from and choosing. If we look at man being number 12 and being the foundation, man as the foundation, then his abstraction, his objectivity, comes through the test. Ah, yes, now I can see. I've experienced it with my own life, and I can perceive it objectively, and I can see what happened. And so I know. And we spoke about this, and for those of you who are just, for some reason, starting in this video, we spoke about this in previous videos. So about starting someplace as a foundation and then going to the next condition as being the abstraction or objective view of that foundation. So even though man goes through this test is a part of creation. No one can escape it. It's not a matter of escaping, it's a matter of adapting to it. It's a matter of approaching life in a wise way, in a way that improves the situation for everyone. And so if it's just for improving oneself, well, that's called the first resurrection. If Jehovah isn't involved, if he's not acknowledged, then it's the inorganic first resurrection. If you're acknowledging Jehovah, the Almighty, all pure, the ever-present, everywhere present, great spirit of all, person of the universe, of the whole, then you can be what's called the organic, in the organic first resurrection, which means then that you're learning about how to work together. So you're still developing yourself, but you're starting to move together and actually working together in ways that amplify and fructify and perfect Jehovah's creation. Make order out of chaos and make beauty out of that which wasn't before, and so forth. Man has this choice in front of him of how to go forward. It's not just man, it's everything goes through these 1 through 11, 12, 13, through these cycles. So that, for example, if you're looking at a nation or a social order or a group, and you come to their 13th cycle of anything, oh, they're going to get tested. That's going to be a test, a time of test, a time of to see what the metal that they're made of, the hope, see how much hope they have, whatever it is. And it's not that no one's sitting up there dictating, saying, oh, well, they're going to have this now and that now. No, it's the flow of creation. 13 is the 13th cycle of what? Well, it's not the foundation. It's not the 13th of the foundation, because what the foundation is just the foundation. That's one. But what is one the foundation of? One is the foundation of that which is to the left of it. Look at what comes before it. What came before it? Look on the chart of Samoy, and you can see what's off to the left of that on the chart. There's nothing. That's right. It's unseen. The unseen. The foundation, the going forth, is the foundation of the unseen. The O, the second symbol, is the abstraction, the objectivity of the unseen. So it's all built on the unseen. So 13 is the test of the unseen. Certainly, you could have evil people, throwing these things at you during the time of test. And yes, they're amplifying it. They're just going with the signs of the time, and they're amplifying it, perhaps. Perhaps not on purpose. When a social order or even a world is in their 13th cycle, and it depends upon the cycle that we're looking at, because they're different cycles. So, for example, we could be looking at a Danhe cycle. Okay, well, what Danhe cycle are we in right now? And so you look back to where the foundation one cycle was, and you have to determine what is the foundation cycle for the Danhe cycles, and then you count forward, and you can look and you can apply these things to wherever we are in the Danhe cycles. Or you can apply it to other things. You can apply it to the 100-year cycles, 200-year cycles, 400-year cycles, 666-year cycles, 66-year cycles, 33-year cycles, 11-year cycles, 18-year cycles. We can apply all this, and we just have to find out where the foundation one is, or where the first cycle is.